The king has been hit by the cost of living crisis but has drawn on reserves to increase his taxpayer-funded spending by 5% to £107.5 million in the past year. Faced with no increase in his £86.3 million sovereign grant from the government for 3 years, the 74-year monarch has dug deep into savings but has been forced to shelve major projects because of the cost of inflation and rising utility bills. A £369 million refurbishment of Buckingham Palace has been slowed because 10% inflation and higher energy and other bills left no room for cash to be diverted to the major 10-year project. The palace gas and electricity bill almost doubled from £1.4 million to £2.7 million in the year to March 31, 2023. In an effort to cut emissions, for environmental reasons as well as cost, the heating has been turned down at Buckingham Palace and other royal homes. Guests, staff, and the royal family were living with temperatures set at 19°C during the winter and a few degrees lower when rooms were empty, but it has been turned down, along with the heating in the Buckingham Palace swimming pool, to reflect King Charles's concerns. Aides insist the palace resurfacing, which is due to conclude in 2027, will still be finished on time, allowing King Charles and Queen Camilla to move into the north wing of Buckingham Palace in 4 years' time, despite the slowdown this year. But other significant maintenance work has had to be delayed until the economic outlook improves. Spending on property maintenance has been cut by 10%. 4 years after the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester downsized and moved out of their 21-room apartment next door to Prince William and Kate's little-used and similarly sized home at Kensington Palace, their former home, Apartment 1, still remains empty and unfit for habitation. Workmen removed dangerous asbestos, but a complete refurbishment of the property has been postponed because of a lack of money. It joins a growing list of empty properties on the royal estate, including Prince Harry and Meghan's former home, Frogmore Cottage at Windsor. The king has also had to help his staff deal with the cost of living crisis. 2 payments were made in the autumn and spring to help them pay energy bills. After a pay and recruitment freeze during the COVID-19 pandemic, staff received a 5 to 6% pay rise and the number of taxpayer-funded employees has increased from 491 to 517, together leading to a 14.3% rise in payroll costs to £27.1 million. The figures were disclosed in the Sovereign Grant Report, which also revealed that the palace spent £700,000 of taxpayers' money on the Queen's Platinum Jubilee and £1.6 million on her funeral, in addition to the £28 million and £162 million incurred by the UK government. Sir Michael Stevens, the keeper of the Privy Purse and the King's most senior financial advisor, said, "This has been an exceptional year for the royal household in many different ways. Covering as it does the period from April 1, 2022, to March 31, 2023, it relates to a year of grief, change, and celebration, the like of which our nation has not witnessed for 7 decades. With the change of reign, Prince William has inherited the Duchy of Cornwall property empire, which increased its profits from £23 million to £24 million in the year to March 31. He and his father split the profits between the first 6 months when Charles was still in charge of the duchy and the last 6 months when William was in charge. That left Charles with £11.275 million and William with £12.773 million. William, who also received an undisclosed sum of money from his father in the first half of the year, took £5.9 million to support himself, his family, and his staff costs for the second half of the year and left the remaining £6.873 million in the duchy as working capital to get through the transition in ownerships. Kensington Palace has said the prince will follow his father's practice of declaring how much tax he